Hello there, I'm a day late reviewing 2002's Brotherhood of the Wolf. Brotherhood of the Wolf is a fictionalized account of French history, specifically the story of the beast of Gévaudan, a creature that between the years of 1764 and 1767 managed to kill upwards of 500 people. Historically, it is believed that the creature was a large wolf, or a wolf pack, responsible for the killings. The movie, however, has far more sinister causes in mind. We open with the Marquis d'Apcher, writing his memoirs before the mob of the Revolution can get to him. He recalls the story of the beast of Gévaudan. We jump back in time to see a woman running for her life. She makes it to a rock and starts to climb up when something grabs her and pulls her down. She is then beaten about like a rag doll, demonstrating the strength of the creature. Very reminiscent of the scene of the first kill in Jaws. We then cut to our protagonist, Grégoire de Fronsac, and his trusty sidekick Manny. Fronsac, we will find out, has been tasked by the King of France to capture the beast, study it, and stuff it for the King's nature collection. Manny is an Iroquois Indian who will help with the tracking and taming of the beast. As they make their way through the rain, they come across an old man and a young woman being accosted by multiple highwaymen. Manny intervenes and makes quick work of the hoodlums using kung fu and slow motion. Fronsac questions one of the highwaymen, who claims that the old man is a thief and his daughter is a witch. The old man claims to be a healer who was hired to heal their horses, and they refuse to pay him. Fronsac then takes some money from the highwayman and pays the old man and tells him to be on his way. Meanwhile, Manny and the daughter share a look between them. Later they arrive at the home of the local nobility, the Marquis d'Apcher. This is the grandfather of the younger Marquis d'Apcher, who is telling the story. The grandfather has turned part of their mansion into a hospital wing for those who have been injured by the beast, and he has also written a memoir about all the known attacks so far. The next morning, the young Marquis reports that a girl has been attacked, and he, Fronsac, and Manny all head out to the scene of the attack. Once on scene, they find a nude girl half laying in a small pond. There is a huge wound to her right abdomen. The captain of the local militia shows up as they are on the lookout for the beast. Fronsac measures the wound on the girl and is amazed at the size of the bite mark. He then asks the captain if he has seen the creature. The captain says he has, and Fronsac shows him a drawing that he has done based on the description by a survivor, and asks if it looked anything like that. The captain says that it had a black stripe on its back, along with a line of spikes. Later at a social gathering, Fronsac is introduced to the local gentry who are discussing the nature of the beast and the king's efforts to stop its attacks. It is here that Fronsac meets the well-traveled hunter, Jean-François de Morangis, and his very attractive sister, Marianne. They are the children of Count de Morangis, who is not to be confused with Count de Money.
De Monet.
Outside, Fronsac flirts a bit with Marianne when they are called back inside for dinner. As they dine, Fronsac tells the tale of a furry fish he caught in America. He even has proof of the creature and shows the specimen he caught. Everyone is amazed, but the hunter Jean-François, but he does say that he appreciates Fronsac's talent for comedy. Count de Morangis apologizes for his son, but Fronsac says that Jean-François is correct. The fish is indeed a fake. Fronsac has shown them the fish to demonstrate that people are quick to believe tall tales, and that magic creatures are not real. The next day a large hunt is organized and everyone is there. Once the hunt commences, Fronsac rides up next to Marianne. He teases her a bit and she rides off into the woods in a huff. Fronsac then chases after her. They come to the ruins of an old Templar stronghold. Marianne says that she used to play here with her brother when they were children. Meanwhile, the other hunters are killing every wolf they come across. However, one white wolf manages to escape and Jean-François follows in pursuit. Back at the ruins, Marianne is taken up position waiting for the beast, while Fronsac sketches her and Manny keeps lookout. The white wolf shows up. Marianne is about to kill it when Fronsac spoils her shot. The wolf leaves and Jean-François arrives to chastise Marianne for being on foot during the hunt, saying it's dangerous. He then continues after the wolf. Marianne chastises Fronsac for spoiling her shot. He says it was just a wolf and she counters by asking what if it had been the beast. He says he doubts it very much, and once again, Marianne leaves in a huff. Later the hunters gather around the bodies of all the dead wolves. They are not sure if the beast is among the dead, but agree that these wolves will no longer cause any trouble. Manny is offended by all the senseless death and rides off. Jean-François remarks that Manny is an interesting man and asks how he and Fronsac had crossed paths. Fronsac says they met in America. The Duke invites Fronsac to dinner that night to celebrate the hunt. At the dinner, we learn that Manny had saved Fransek's life during a battle with the British in America. The two are now blood brothers. As the party winds down, the young D'Apche takes Fransek and Manny to a brothel, saying they'll rest better here than at an inn.
Excellent!
It is here that Fransek meets Sylvia, an Italian courtesan who isn't entirely what she seems. And the two engage in a little R-rated fun.
Engage.
We jump forward several weeks and learn that the hunt wasn't successful. The beast is still on the prowl. Winter has arrived, and Father Sardi is leading the townspeople in prayer for salvation when a man bursts into the church. His children have gone missing in the nearby hills. Fransek tells D'Apche to gather his men, and he and Manny will lead the search for the children. In the hills, they find the boy dead, his body mauled. Fransek finds a piece of sharp metal, like a knife tip, in one of the boy's wounds. Manny then finds the younger sister hiding in a small crawl space, just barely clinging to life. Cut to Captain Duhamel getting reamed for his failure to kill the beast. The committee asks Fransek if he has any ideas of what type of wolf is doing all the killing. Fransek shows them the piece of metal he found and says it is not a wolf. Father Sardi agrees that the creature isn't natural, but supernatural. It is then announced that the committee has received a letter from the king, and Duhamel and his troops are to return to their station in Logrogne. The king's master-at-arms is on the way, and he will take charge of the hunt. Sometime later, the master-at-arms, Monsieur Bauturn, arrives and has a meeting with Fransek. He tells Fransek that he will travel into the woods tomorrow to kill the wolf and does not need Fransek to accompany him. He gives Fransek a letter from the king saying that he, Bauturn, has the highest authority in the matters concerning the wolf. Later, the young girl awakens after Manny uses some Indian remedies on her. Fransek questions her about what happened in the hills. The girl says that the beast attacked her brother and it was controlled by someone. She ran and hid in a crevice that the beast was too big to enter. Cut to Fransek and Manny arriving at Bauturn's summons. Bauturn has assembled enough taxidermy supplies necessary for Fransek to create an impressive stuffed figure of the beast, per orders of the king. They are going to declare victory over the beast and put the matter to an end. Knowing he doesn't have much choice in the matter, Fransek sets to work. Once done, they return to Paris to present the wolf to the king. Fransek is outraged by the fraud, and he is led outside by Monsieur Mercier. Mercier is the special counsel to the king, and came up with the idea for the fraud. Mercier presents Fransek with a book. He says that it is disguised as a novel, but in fact calls for the overthrow of the king, saying he is weak and ineffective. The king needed a victory to point to, and the beast is it. He then says that he has heard that Fransek has discussed returning to America, and says that they have a boat leaving in 6 months and there is a space for him on it if he wants it.
Excellent!
The ticket price is no more discussion of the beast.
Bogus!
Back in Gévaudan, the beast kills another woman. Fransek and Manny return to resume the hunt, but first Fransek has a secret meeting with Marianne at the home of her nanny. While the nanny's husband goes to fetch some wine, Fransek tells Marianne that he will take her to Paris in a week's time, but first he and Manny are going to go hunting for the beast. They hear a crash in the cellar underneath them. The beast is attacking the nanny's husband. Then suddenly it comes crashing through the trap door to the cellar. Fransek grabs a pitchfork and attacks the beast, telling Marianne to move slowly, but to escape as he distracts it. The beast knocks Fransek away and charges at Marianne, only to stop at the last minute. It eyes her for a bit when several villagers arrive at the house and see the beast towering over Marianne. We then hear a high-pitched whistle and the beast flees. The next morning, Fransek and the Marquis d'Apche are discussing the likelihood of finding the beast while practicing shooting. Fransek tells the Marquis that they are looking for a man. The beast is just a servant. He shows the Marquis the book given to him in Paris and says that the book claims that the beast is a punishment from God because the king has embraced the philosophers. So while they are after the beast, they are also after the person behind the beast. Will they get him? Check out the movie and see. The movie is a French production, and most of the cast is either French or Belgian, so it was shot in French, but the English dub isn't awful. Or you could watch it in the original language with subtitles. It cost around $29 million to make, and it grossed $70.7 million worldwide, so it was a success. The critics liked it with a 7 out of 10 on IMDb. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 73% per critics and 78 audience score. Metacritic is the only bummer, and they have it at 57 out of 100. The movie was written and directed by Christoph Gans, probably best known in the English-speaking world for the Silent Hill movie based on the video game of the same name. He brings a lot of style to the movie, although some of the slow-motion choices are questionable to me. Some very lovely cinematography in the film, however. It stars Samuel Le Bihan, Mark Dacascos, Jeremy Renier, Emily Dequesne, Vincent Cassel, and Monica Bellucci. They all do a fine job. Of the actors, I'm only familiar with Dacascos, Cassel, and Bellucci. The film was rated R for some graphic violence and nudity. The movie has a bit of everything: action, horror, romance, and political intrigue. At 2 hours and 22 minutes, it does feel a bit long, and they could have trimmed some of the fat. Having said that, I certainly recommend the film. It has both style and substance to spare. A very interesting take on a historical event. Check it out. Until next time.